Hello, welcome in. So guys, it's Wednesday. Wednesday is what we do is we do What's News Wednesday. We just go through all the things that have happened in the past week in big time. And if there's anything forward reaching to like a crafting event that's going on from now till now or then or whatever, we'll talk about that. Pretty much all just current and past events right now, but we'll jump right into it. So last Wednesday, the cosmetic crafting event just happened and nothing had taken its place. So last Wednesday on Tuesday, the crafting event ended. Now they announced the festive Christmas crafting event. So how does the crafting event work? Let's jump into it. Okay, so this is how it works. New crafting recipes were getting dropped into big time throughout the past 7 days. The first recipe that dropped was this Missile Thrash Winter's Hope. It's an epic sword, 800 supply. And how it works is that all of these items give you double leaderboard points compared to like crafting a similar rarity. So you get twice as much for crafting an epic. And they drop one at a time. So they drop the sword first. There's 800 of them. If that mints out, then they drop the next item. If that mints out, they drop the next item and so on. So that happened. Sword minted out and people were pretty excited about it. 800 supply, they thought. It doesn't really craft into anything else. So that 800 is just 800 capped, done, dealt with. Kind of cool. Then what happened next is there was the Belgard Heart of Winter, which is another epic item, 800 supply, same, but crafted in your armory. And then you had the next item that's come up is legendary Kane Clash Terror of Night, 500 supply. So cool in theory, right? Oh, sweet. We get to craft these things. So what I think a lot of people experienced, though, was during this crafting event, they log into the game, they go in to craft this item, and then they have a serious bout of sticker shock, right? I am getting ahead of myself because I want to talk about the token price first, and then we'll jump back into this because it's kind of related. So since last Wednesday, we did see a small pump up to about 67 cents around here, but it wasn't able to really flip that resistance at around 65 cents into support. So we are retesting at the support of about 55 cents down here in hopes to see if we can consolidate enough to blow way up over top the 65 level support and start ranging within this sort of like 65 to 75 area. Again, haven't seen that for a couple weeks. Number go up, number go down. That's the gist of that. So crafting event, like I was saying, we weren't sure if there was going to be a crafting event over the holiday season. They dropped a notification for it on the 22nd. Basically, how it worked is kind of an interesting event because there's 4 potential mints. A new item gets unlocked as the previous one is crafted to 0. And all the holiday recipes yield 2x points on the leaderboard. And I think a lot of crafters were excited to participate in this, but we all kind of experienced the same thing, which was some pretty serious sticker shock because you log into the game, you find the crafting recipe, and you see, holy crap, that's like a lot of materials. Worked out to be just about $550 worth of materials if you were going by like big time token being about 50-60 cents, and took 40 infused materials. It took 120 augmented and 350 big time token. So that's a lot, right? When you add it up, seems like a lot. But then I kind of started thinking this through and it actually started to seem pretty cheap. And here's kind of why. So I was doing some math. How much would it cost for me to craft a regular epic? It costs about $500 to $600 in materials to craft this festive one. How much would it cost if I was to craft all the way from common up to epic in materials? So each common craftable requires 50 big time tokens and 25 augmented. By today's price, if you consider how much a common costs on the market. Okay, so $44 to craft one common based on my math is $192, right? That's $192 to craft one uncommon, which means that it costs $687 to craft one rare in materials. So we've just established that it costs almost $700 in materials to craft a rare. Now, if we do that same math again, right? But it takes $165 in big time token to craft one epic, which is not much more than the festive one. In under $600 in materials to craft this epic, while also excluding all the previous crafting durations, probably been like the biggest hypodermic needle for leaderboard growth and movement we have seen since the entire economy has come out, right? So this is completely given people who have the extra liquidity, who have a whole pile of big time tokens sitting around, this gives them a huge chance to blow their way all the way up to the higher reaches of the leaderboard. And we have seen this happen. The person we have seen do this the most is actually Whale D Shark. So congrats to him. Whale D Shark up at second place because that guy probably has minted most of this Christmas stuff. I wanted to craft the sword and the epic shield, but I didn't have enough big time token fast enough and infused fast enough to be able to craft the epic shield, which is unfortunate because that was actually the one that I really wanted. I got the epic sword, but now there's only 2 weapons left, and I kind of wanted maybe like a legendary shield, but no, it's either we got this legendary candy cane, and then we don't know what the next one is, but I think it'll probably be like a mythic candy cane or something. That's the gist of the whole Christmas stuff, guys. It seems really expensive, but it's actually not, and the people who have figured this out and are capitalizing on it are killing it on the leaderboard because they found a way to literally take leaps and bounds above everyone else, getting 2x leaderboard points on crafting epics and legendaries. Basically, all it takes is just capital, and then it also takes having enough premium currencies around. So it's like the biggest pay to win event that's ever happened in the history of the economy so far. So I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, so that's enough about that. Final thing, guys. They did do a mystery box drop. They did not make an announcement in their Discord about it. They only announced it on Twitter and through their website. Unlike the Festive one, this one totally minted out. It was for $500 a mint. There was 5,000 mints, which means that Big Time just walked away with another 2.5 million USD. So congrats to them on that, I suppose. It fully minted out, ironically. So here's another thing that they did differently. You weren't able to list it on the market for a few days until a few days after the minting event. So in a way, that's kind of cool. But the result, I'm kind of surprised. I guess it got kind of fudded too much while people were waiting for their opportunity to be able to sell it. And we're looking at these mystery boxes actually being worth less than what they minted for right now. A pretty solid floor too. There's a couple, is that like maybe 100 items below the floor or mint price? And why? I'm not quite sure, because honestly, this one also had a 33% chance of minting a Time Warden. So the difference between this one and the Tinkerer's one is you could mint up to a higher rarity, but also a lower rarity. So it was uncommon to exalted. And then also the item number 2, you could get more time crystals, but you could only get common workshops in item number 2. Whereas in this new one, you have a chance to get less time crystals in the second item, but all of the workshops are actually potentially exalted. So that's kind of interesting. Some changes there, but we're seeing, yeah, a really solid floor below the mint price. So personally, if I was to buy one of these new Time Warden mystery boxes with 33%, I'd probably buy this countdown one. Just seems like the better box, but who knows? What do I know, right? You'd have to just do your own research, and this is gambling. This is just straight up like you're making a gamble. It might not pay off. You could still lose hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Okay, so they're quite similar, quite different. They minted out, they switched a few things around. The new box had a higher max supply, still minted completely out. So the final sort of point is we've seen 3 mystery boxes drop this month in December, which is starting to, I think, impact the overall market. And in some ways people might say, oh, that's impacting it in a positive way. And other people might say it's a negative way. Maybe it depends on how many assets you hold and what you bought them at, right? Me personally, I don't really like seeing the Time Wardens prices the way that where they are right now. A month ago, a legendary Time Warden was about 2,500. Now it's about 1,500. So we've seen it drop about $1,000. Same thing with the mythic Time Wardens. Rare Time Wardens are basically the price of what legendaries are now. So that's some pretty significant downward trend. So that's it, guys. That's it. Okay. Thank you all the people who have been hanging out, staying up to date with all the stuff that's current. And if you're watching this next week, make sure you drop by the stream or keep your eyes out for more videos coming in the future, guys. So I will talk to you guys later, you future people.